Let us solve more questions on data sufficiency. This time let us get into those concepts of quantitative aptitude like averages, ages, profit and loss percentages. Let us see how easily we can solve them. Suppose the question is, what is the age of C in a group of A, B, C, D, E whose average is 45 years? The first statement is, average of the ages of A and B is 53 years. And the second statement is, average of the ages of D and E is 47 years. Very simple question. In the question, he has given the average of A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D average is given. And then he is asking us to find out the age of C. A, B, C, D, E is given and age of C is asked. From the first information, he has given average of A, B. And the second one, he has given average of D, E. By looking at it, you can answer the question. You need not find out the average. The numbers are not important for me. You know the total average. You know AB average, you know DE average. You can't answer independently with one nor with two. But together, you will know the average of A, B, D, E. The only one which is left is C because AB is given, DE is given. So, you will get to know the age of C by combination. You need not find the answer. You have to just say, I can answer the question. So, your answer is combination, that is option 4 because 1 and 2 together is sufficient to answer the question. Let us answer another one now. Suppose the question is, what is Shreya's age? And the first statement is, Shreya is 2 times younger than Akila. And the second statement is, Akila is twice the age of Nisha. Very simple question. In the question, he has asked us to find out Shreya's age. And in the first one, he has compared Shreya with Akila. We do not know Akila age. And in the second one, he has compared Akila with Nisha. And we do not know Nisha's age. We do not know anybody's age. If we knew Nisha's age, we would have known Akila. From Akila, we would have found out Shreya. Nobody's age is given. It is just a comparison of Shreya with Akila, Akila with Nisha. How can we find out Shreya's age? It is impossible independently. It is impossible with combination. So, your answer is option 5. The question cannot be answered even if we combine 1 and 2 together. So, your answer is option 5. Very simple question. Let us solve another one now. Suppose the question is, what is mother's present age? The first statement is, present ages of mother and child are in the ratio 5:1 respectively. Second statement is, 4 years hence, the ratio of the ages of mother and child will be 17:5 respectively. That means, he is asking us to find out the mother's age. And from the first statement, he has given the present ages of mother and child are in the ratio 5:1. And then he said, after 4 years, 4 years hence is after 4 years. After 4 years, mother is to child will be 17:5. You know the present ratio and you know the ratio after 4 years. Try to understand the concept. When you want to know the ages, with single ratio it is impossible. That means alone it is impossible. But when you know both the ratios and you know after so and so years, we have solved a lot of questions on the concept of ages when we were doing this. So, 2 ratios, then you can answer any question. Not only mother's age, you can find out child's age, you can find out mother's age after so and so years. With 2 ratios, it is 100% possible. So, my answer for this question will be option 4. That means together I can answer, independently I cannot answer. You need not answer this question in the examination, but if you have to answer, we all discussed that it is 5:1, that is present ratio, and after 4 years it is 17:5. We wanted to make this difference equal. Here it is 4 and here it is 12. So, make this 12, so you have to multiply with 3. Then you will get it as 15:3. This is 17:5. The difference is 2 parts. 2 parts is equal to 4 years. Then 15 parts is equal to how many years? This is how we have answered. We can answer this question. We have discussed this concept very much in detail. But in this particular context, we should not answer. So, I am not answering this. We should not answer. We should only have an idea that with 2 ratios, it is possible to answer this question. So, your answer is option 4. Option 4 here. Let us try to answer another question now. Suppose the question is, what is the profit earned by selling a mobile for 26,250 rupees? The first statement is, the cost price of 5 such mobiles is equal to selling price of 4 units. The second statement is, 25% profit is earned by selling each mobile. Very interesting question. So, the profit. But he has also given the information that the selling price of each mobile is equal to 26,250. How much is the price is not important. I should only focus on selling price given. Then from the first statement, he said cost price of 5 such mobiles is equal to selling price of 4. And in the second statement, he said profit percentage is equal to 25%. Let us try to understand the concept. Whenever we know the cost price of 5 is equal to selling price of 4. We have answered questions of this kind, but in this particular thing, you know selling price of each mobile is 26,250. From this, you will know selling price of 4 mobiles. From selling price of 4 mobiles, I can find out cost price of 5 mobiles. From cost price of 5 mobiles, I can find out cost price of each mobile. I know selling price of each mobile. I can also find out cost price of each mobile. Knowing selling price and cost price, it is always possible to find out how much is profit. So this information is completely sufficient for me to answer the question. 1 alone is 100% sufficient. If I go for 2 alone, this is directly given, so this is also sufficient. Because I know selling price is so and so, I know profit is 25%. That means 125% is given as 26,250. He is asking me to find out profit. Profit is 25%. 25% is how much? We have solved these kind of questions n number of times while we were solving questions on profit and loss. So 2 alone is also sufficient. 1 alone is sufficient. 2 alone is sufficient. So my answer for this question is option 3. That means I can answer this question with 1 alone, or I can answer this question with 2 alone. Very, very interesting question. This is how you have to answer. Let us answer another one now. Suppose the question is, what was the total compound interest earned on the sum after 3 years? The first statement is, the interest earned after 1 year is 100 rupees and the sum is 1000 rupees. And the second statement is, the difference between the simple and compound interest on a sum of 1000 rupees at the end of 2 years is 10 rupees. Very, very interesting question. He has asked us to find out what is the total compound interest at the end of 3 years. That means time is given as 3 years and he wants us to find out the compound interest. Whether it is compound interest or simple interest, you have to know P, T and R. Already you know T. Let us see whether we can find out P and R from any of the statements or not. What is the first information given here? He said the interest earned after 1 year is 100 rupees and the sum is equal to 1000 rupees. You know the principal. Sum is nothing but it is principal. That means P is also known now. And he said interest after 1 year is 100 rupees. From this I can find out the rate of interest, because after 1 year you got 100 rupees on a sum of 1000 rupees. Doesn't matter whether it is simple interest or compound interest, it is same for 1 year. So I can confidently say he has got 100 rupees out of 1000 rupees. That means the rate of interest is equal to 100 by 1000. It is equal to 10%. I need not calculate it in the examination, but I will know what is R. So I know what is R. I knew what is T from the question. I know what is P and what is R now. So this is 100% possible to answer the question. With this information, it is 100% possible to answer the question. Let us go to the second one. And the second one is very interesting. He has given the difference is equal to 10 rupees for 2 years on 1000 rupees. That means again principal is given. And he gave difference is 10 rupees between simple interest and compound interest at the end of 2 years. We all know how do we get the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Let us convert difference into percentage. That is 10 rupees out of 1000 rupees. 10 by 1000 into 100. I can cancel all the zeros and I can say it is 1%. When do we get 1% as the difference between simple interest and compound interest? Only when the rate of interest is equal to 10%. Because this is nothing but it is 1 square. If rate of interest was 20%, you would have got 4%. If the rate of interest was 15%, you would have got 2.25, because we will just make the square putting a point before units place. So 10% will be the rate of interest, then only you will get 10 rupees interest. 10 rupees on 1000 rupees is 1%. 1% difference is possible only when the rate of interest is 10%. So R is also known. Once you know P, R and T, then you can find out what is compound interest. So 2 alone is also sufficient to answer this question. So very, very important. You need not do all this work. You have to just have an idea that with what information I can answer the question. You can answer this question with PTR. You already know T. From the first statement, you knew what is P, what is R. Even from the second statement, you were in a position to identify what is P, what is R. So you can answer this question with 1 alone or 2 alone. That means your answer will be option 3 here. So option 3, that is 1 alone or 2 alone. Let us answer one more question now. Suppose the question is, how many women can complete the piece of work in 15 days? Statement 1 is, if 12 women can complete the same piece of work in 20 days. And statement 2 is, if 10 men can complete the same piece of work in 12 days. Very simple question. He was asking the question on how many women can complete the piece of work in 15 days. And from the first information, you know 12 women can complete the work in 20 days. And the second information, you know 10 men can complete the work in 12 days. Try to observe the question clearly. You need not answer the question. You should only say that I want to know how many women can complete the work in 15 days. I know 12 women can complete the work in 20 days. M1 D1 is equal to M2 D2. So with this information, I can answer the question. I need not worry what is the answer. I can answer the question. But the question is about women and he has given about men. So this is impossible to answer the question. So my answer is only 1 alone. That is option 1. Very, very simple question. Let us answer another one. Suppose the question is, in how many days 10 men can do the work? Statement 1 is 12 women can do the work in 16 days. Statement 2 is 4 men and 6 women together can do the work in 16 days. Again a very much similar question. Let us try to do that. What is the question asked? He asked us 10 men can do the work in how many days? And the statement 1 said 12 women can do the work in 16 days. And the statement 2 is 4 men and 6 women can do the work in 16 days. So these are the two statements. Now you have to pay your attention. He asked about men. With women I cannot answer the question, that is for sure. He asked about men and he has given information about men and women. Even this is impossible to answer the question. But when I combine them and see, I want to know 10 men and I know 12 women. From 12 women I can know 6 women. From 6 women I can know 4 men. From 4 men I can know 10 men. Try to understand, 12 women can do it in 16 days, then 6 women can do it in how many days? I'll get to know. Once I know this value, I will know this value. Once I know 4 men can do it in how many days, I will know 10 men can do it in how many days. So the combination is absolutely possible to answer the question. So I have to take the data given in both of them. So my answer will be option 4. That means 1 and 2 together is sufficient to answer the question. Individually they are not sufficient, but together they are sufficient. So this is how you have to answer these kind of questions. Let us answer another one. Suppose the question is, what is the speed of the boat in still water? Statement 1 is, it takes 2 hours to cover the distance between A and B downstream. Statement 2 is, it takes 4 hours to cover the distance between A and B upstream. Very interesting question. He asked us to find out what is the speed of the boat in still water. That means X value. We have discussed this. Speed of the boat in still water is X, speed of the water is Y. So he wants to know the X value, that's it. And then he has given, it takes 2 hours to cover the distance A to B downstream. So downstream, it is taking 2 hours. And the second one he said, upstream, it is taking 4 hours. That means, while going at a speed of X plus Y, he is taking 2 hours time. While going at a speed of X minus Y, he is taking 4 hours time. This is the information given. But what is the distance between A and B? A and B distance can be 2 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 500 kilometers. I am not sure about the distance. He has mentioned nothing about the distance. Without knowing the distance, it is impossible for me to answer the question. It looks as if it is possible because you know downstream and upstream time, but you should also know the distance. Once the distance was mentioned, then it would have been possible. But here, it is absolutely impossible to answer this question. So your answer for this question is option 5. Individually I cannot answer, even the combination I cannot answer. So your answer for this question is option 5. Let us discuss another question. Suppose the question is, what is the speed of the boat in still water? The statement 1 is, the boat takes 4 hours to go 12 kilometers downstream. Statement 2 is, the boat takes 6 hours to cover 12 kilometers in still water. Very interesting question. Again the question is very much the same. He is asking us to find out what is the speed of the boat in still water. In the first information, he has given downstream and he has given the distance also. So distance is known, downstream is known. That means he has given X plus Y including distance. And in the second one, he has directly given X value. That means in still water, he is traveling 12 kilometers in 6 hours. So my answer is 2 kilometers per hour. The speed of the boat is 2 kilometers per hour. The question is in still water and the information given in the second one is also still water. So I need not worry about what is given in the first one. This is individually impossible, but this is individually possible. You need not even combine this. You can say your answer is option 2, because in second statement it is very clearly given that this boat travels 12 kilometers in still water in 6 hours. 12 kilometers in 6 hours, that means the speed of the boat in still water is 12 by 6, that is 2 kilometers per hour. You need not answer this in the examination. You need not tell the examiner that my answer is 2 kilometers per hour, but you should understand that the question is about the speed of the boat in still water. The information is also speed of the boat in still water. So you can answer this question in